Fitchburg State University football here on FATV. It is the first home game of the season for the Falcons. Again, they're taking on the Spartans of Castleton. We mentioned Connor Fitzsimons, the starting quarterback for the Falcons in his senior year. There's also a brand new backfield, as we said. Last week against SUNY Cortland, it was Robert Jackson, freshman running back from Worcester, who did the bulk of the ball carrying for the Falcons, 20 carries for a net of 58 yards. So we'll see a lot of him. We'll also see a lot of J.C. Santiago in the backfield. He's a junior, hasn't gotten much play over the past few years.
Yep, Santiago wasn't able to get in last year, but this year he comes in, makes his collegiate debut, 12 for 30. He got the bulk of the carries in the first half against Cortland. But again, a challenging defense to deal with Cortland. Castleton might provide a different sort of test.
Castleton also comes in with a record of 0-1. They, like Fitchburg, coming off a 2-8 record last season. So I feel confident saying the Falcons aren't going to lose 63-0.
I feel confident agreeing with you on that, John.
Okay, mark our words. That probably won't happen. Fitchburg State will receive the opening kickoff. They'll be going left to right across your television screens. They're in the green jerseys, white pants. Castleton in the all-white, also with green. Kick is away. It's a high end-over-end kick taken in at the 10-yard line. Coming straight up the middle. Plenty of room there. Spun down finally at the 35-yard line. Looks like that's Joel Montero, junior out of Brockton. Brought down at about the 35-yard line.
Castleton appealing that they got the ball, but Montero was down by contact before the ball came out, I do believe.
Carlson and Carroll combining for the Castleton hit.
Falcons will have it first and 10 at their own, looks like the 36-yard line. Connor Fitzsimons will come out as the starting quarterback, and he does have J.C. Santiago as his running back.
Another new look for Fitzsimons. He's changed his number again. He's now wearing number 5 from number 10 last year.
3 receivers for Fitchburg State. Only Santiago in the backfield. Fitzsimons looks left, pumps, now throws left. Pass is high, but it is caught. Catch and run will take him near to the first down yardage. That's Miguel Perez. A lot of new names for the Falcons this year. Miguel Perez, freshman from Natick, graduate of Keefe Tech. Has himself a gain of about 9 yards. It'll be second down and 1.
And look at the size on Miguel Perez, 5'7", 135.
And he's not even the shortest player on the team.
Not
I know that
even.
because you told me that.
Those handy stats coming in handy. Second and 1.
Second down and 1, as you said, for the Falcons. 2 receivers, 2 tight ends. And Santiago gets the carry straight up the middle. Nothing fancy there. He plows forward, gains about 5 yards, and it's a first down for Fitchburg State.
On that second and 1, Santiago lining up about 5 yards behind Fitzsimons, able to get a running start on that, and able to use his momentum to drive through the line and get that first down.
Single back, 2 tight ends. The formation we use in Madden. I'll try not to talk about how much I've been playing Madden this year. I've been playing a lot of Madden this year. Fun.
It's great research.
First and 10 for the Falcons, still on their side of midfield at the 49-yard line. Motion to the far side, handoff goes to Santiago, running left. This time he is wrapped up in the backfield. Brought down. Give credit for the initial hit to Spencer Kozlak, number 57 for Castleton.
Junior out of Agawam is Kozlak. And on that one, just trying the same thing again, but that time Castleton a little more wise to it. Wouldn't fall for it. It's a loss of a yard. It'll bring up second and 11.
Falcons put the fullback Frank Sims in motion. Team lined up there to your right, number 44, getting signals from Fitzsimons. Second down and 11. Now Fitzsimons back to throw. Looks right, throws right, passes high and incomplete. In and out of the hands of Josh Nelson, the senior receiver from Providence, Rhode Island. Catchable ball, but a little high. Nelson unable to bring it down. It'll be third down and 11 for Fitchburg State.
And one of the things the Falcons trying to do here, just to get a successful possession on, is the fact that in last week's game, they weren't able to get past the 50-yard line into Cortland territory.
3rd down and 11 now for Fitchburg State. They need to get to the 40. Shotgun. Fitzsimons looks to his left, throwing long to the left, got a step. The good catch, he came down with it. Was he inbounds? Yes! Catch is made at the 23-yard line. Jesse Brown, one of the few returning Falcons, made that grab, kept 1 foot inbounds. It's a gain of about 30 yards and a Fitchburg 1st down.
The senior captain, Jesse Brown, the most reliable receiver for the Falcons last year. He's back and ready to play that #1 role again for the green and gold. Pulls in that catch from Fitzsimons, and the Falcons well into Spartan territory.
1st and 10 Fitchburg State at the Spartan 23-yard line. Fitchburg comes out 2 wides, 2 tights. Now Sims goes into backfield in motion. Handoff goes to Santiago running behind Sims to the right. Good lead blocking and a nice secondary push. Gets him a gain of about 6 yards.
I know last year the Falcons had a lot of struggles in making the passing game work. Brandon Brown, a great mobile quarterback, had a bit of an inaccurate arm, so the Falcons had to rely more on the running game. This year, the Falcons more willing to use a fullback in their 1 and 2 back formations.
Frank Sims, the 4th, is a freshman, listed as a tight end. He'll probably play a lot of tight end and a lot of fullback. 2nd down and 4 for Fitchburg State. Sims once again in motion to the left. He'll head to the backfield, and it's a handoff running left behind him. Santiago, the ball carrier. Ball came loose. Castleton saying they have it, but their opinion is a little biased. Ball actually rolled a fair bit forward. Falcons might have gained 5 yards or so on that. Now I think they're going to mark him back down at the initial spot of the fumble.
Still was a decent gain of a couple of yards, though, on 2nd down. It brings up 3rd and quite manageable.
The 3rd down and about a yard for the Falcons. Fitchburg State 3 times already. They've sent Sims in motion from the tight end spot to the backfield and then run right behind him. I mean, if I know that, I'm sure Castleton has noticed it by now. Handoff goes this time to Santiago, straight up the middle. Like he might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but he definitely didn't get the 1st down. Like he's spotted maybe half a yard shy of the 1st down. It will be 4th down. And the Falcons will keep the offense on the field. Well, you were 2-8 last year. You just lost 63-0. It's 4th and half a yard. I say go for it. Fitzsimons had a little bit of trouble with the snap. He gets a push behind him. Santiago just lowered his elbow and shoved his quarterback forward. Fitzsimons holds on to the ball, give him a carry for 4 yards. It'll be 1st and goal Fitchburg at about the 9-yard line.
That's all you really need to do when you're going to try the quarterback sneak. Just make sure you're going forward. And if you're Santiago, push Fitzsimons forward.
You saw Fitzsimons come to the line. He was hunched over a lot. He had his legs spread out. As soon as he snapped the ball, I was like, he's running. That was an obvious sneak, but it worked. 1st and goal Falcons at the 9. Sims in motion. And it's a run to the left behind him. Santiago dragged down in the backfield. Loss of about a yard. Credit on that one to Braden Maxfield. Excuse me, that was Nick Fecto, the senior defensive lineman. Castleton has a few different number 91s in the program.
Castleton has 2 number 91s, and they're both defensive players as well. So we have to credit to who we think it's going to be.
This is D3 college football. I'm going to give Nick Fecto the tackle there every time. 2nd down and goal for the Falcons at the 10-yard line. Fitzsimons will operate from the shotgun here. He has 3 receivers. Looking right, throwing right. Pass is caught. That is a Fitchburg touchdown. Drew Riddenauer with the catch.
The Falcons have been going with the running game for so much of this drive after the Jesse Brown completion. So when they finally go to the air again, maybe Castleton not quite ready for it. A throw over the middle, and Drew Riddenauer, the tight end, able to pull that in for 6.
Falcons didn't score at all against SUNY Cortland. They score on their first possession here. Lene DeChill on to attempt the extra point. Kick is up, it hits the crossbar, and it is no good. A little bit of history for you, Dan. With that extra point attempt, Linnea Chill becomes the first female player in Fitchburg State University football history.
That is some great history. DeChill, a junior, played at Hudson Valley Community College, played football and soccer there over the last 2 years. And she was 3 for 4 on extra point attempts in 2017. But on that one, wasn't able to get a lot of oomph on that one. Tried to float it over the crossbar, didn't quite make it.
Had the direction, just needed a little bit more leg. Falcons lead it 6-0 here with 9:12 to play in the first quarter.
Now looking to kick off for the Falcons is going to be Bubba Lynch. We saw him doing a lot of fill-in punting and kicking last year after the Falcons lost their 2 kickers due to injury.
To kick it away for the Falcons.
A couple of different guys set back deep toward Castleton. Looks like that's Anthony Martinez and Devin Kimball. Short kick. Ball is actually loose and just picked up and taken out of bounds. Smart play there by Christopher Carroll. Take a look at this one again. It's a short kick. Castleton wasn't quite ready for it. By the time Carroll gathers, his momentum was taking him out of bounds. No return there. Castleton's backed up 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The only kickoff in last week's game against Cortland was by Benedict Cesare-Thompson, so it's possible Castleton didn't really know what to expect in terms of the leg of Bubba Lynch.
Jared Brockway in motion for Castleton. High snap, pass to the right side is swatted down. Joel Montero was all over that throw out of the right arm of Jacob McCarthy.
McCarthy with just 9 incompletions on 31 pass attempts last week in the 23-17 loss to Plymouth State. Start out 0 for 1, this throw to the right side, and you can see Montero step up, swat it down and away. They were looking for Zachary Licata on that one.
Handoff goes to the right side. Flag is down at about the line of scrimmage. Simon Davis Jr. had the carry.
Simon Davis Jr. was the ball carrier. During the play,
personal foul, face mask, defense number 21. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Buki Ashima called for a face mask on that one. We'll take a look at it here. Ashima's number 21. Looks like it might have been away from the play. But it is 15 yards. Gives Castleton a break. They were looking at 3rd and long, but now they have a fresh set of downs. Motion to the near side for Castleton. Back to pass over the middle. Pass is complete, although he might have regretted making the catch. Dylan Ellis made the catch.
short gain on the play.
Take a look at it again here. Ellis comes in motion, runs a simple crossing route over the middle. Well defended there by Rich Austin, one of the captains on this Falcon defense.
It is a gain of a yard, though, for Ellis on that catch. So not as regrettable as it looked at first glance.
2nd down and 9 for Castleton. McCarthy back to pass, looking to his left. That pass is high, but it is caught on the second effort. Anthony Martinez didn't make the catch at first, but he did bring it down and kept a foot in bounds. We'll take a look at this one again.
Looked like as he was trying to pull that in, just juggle it a little bit, just able to close his hands on the football, get a foot down, that's all you need.
Martinez did a really good job there. Now Ellis goes in motion on 1st down for Castleton. McCarthy looking to the right, blitz coming, and he is walloped. He managed to get rid of the ball, so it's an incomplete pass. Maury Kita came in on the DB blitz. Darn near broke McCarthy in half.
Morikita unable to play last year, back this year.
Bottom of your screen, he comes in unblocked McCarthy with that sixth sense, just able to get rid of the ball. Saved a bunch of yardage, although it didn't save his spine.
The sophomore quarterback and Jacob McCarthy from West Yarmouth.
Second down handoff goes up the middle, being dragged down from behind, fighting for yardage. Simon Davis Jr. did a good job to get a single yard there. David Morales was all over him from the moment he got the ball.
See, Castleton, they've got a bit of a young backfield as well. Jacob McCarthy stepping up for Mitchell Caron, who graduated. Simon Davis Jr., the lead running back for Mo Harris, who graduated. So a pair of sophomores leading this offense, and you can see Davis Jr. just fighting for what he could get. Gets back to the 50-yard line, but now third and about 10.
4 wide receivers for Castleton. Davis to the right of McCarthy in the shotgun. McCarthy looking right, throwing right. Pass is high and too high, in fact. Overthrown. Intended once again for Anthony Martinez. And the Spartans will punt. McCarthy had the time there. The throw was just a little bit high. Sorry about that, Dan.
That's all right. Martinez was the leading receiver for the Spartans last week. 7 catches for 84 yards.
That's a terrible snap on the punt. It rolls into the punter. He manages to get the kick away. Bounces at the 15 and is going to take a Spartan roll. Mark it dead at about the 8-yard line. That is a remarkable job by Mike Morgan, the punter for Castleton. Folks, real quick, we want to thank our football underwriters for FATV football game this season. IC Credit Union on 300 Bemis Road in Fitchburg. North End Subaru, 750 Chase Road in Lunenburg. Romano's Market, found them on 138 Harvard Street in Fitchburg. Grand Rental Station, 88 Mass Ave in Lunenburg. And the Neshoba Valley Medical Center in Ayer, Massachusetts. Thanks again to them for underwriting all football games here on FATV in 2019.
And Morgan getting that punt off under pressure shows why he was named second team All ECFC last season.
Falcons' first play of the drive is a handoff. He shoves down a defender, just lowered the helmet. Gets out to about the 29-yard line. J.C. Martinez. J.C. Santiago runs over a defender, gains another 10 yards after it. Took a couple of Spartans to bring him down.
And that Castleton defender, he was squared up, he was ready, but he was not ready for the force that Santiago brought. Bowled him right over. 21-yard gain on the first play of this drive.
First and 10 Falcons at their own 29-yard line. Santiago the carry again. This time, not so much. Brought down in the backfield, Zach Policino, the tackle.
Zach Policino applying the hit for Castleton.
It's always challenging to get 2 successful long runs in a row.
Short gain on the play, 2nd and 9.
Especially when the defense seems a little more wise to it on the second go.
Fitchburg State has been going almost exclusively on the ground. See a lot of that 2 receivers, 2 tight ends set. This time they'll send Sims to the bench and bring in Miguel Perez as a third receiver. Fitzsimons' pass to the far side is complete. Jesse Brown the catch. Brown got out past the initial line of scrimmage.
Only about a 2 or 3 yard gain on that one. Of note to the Falcons, they've been going back and forth between Fitzsimons taking it under center and taking it out of the pistol. The Falcons credited with 8 fumbles last week against Cortland. 6 of those were off of particularly bad snaps. So that's something the Falcons, I imagine, have to have been working on over the last week, is try to make the snaps a little better, especially when it's not coming quite under center.
3rd down and 7. Fitzsimons pumps, now throws long to the left. The high floating pass, and it is brought down. They're going to say out of bounds. Incomplete, intended for Josh Nelson.
As I was following that with my binoculars, the ball looked like it was going into nowhere where there was going to be a Falcon. Credit to Josh Nelson for trying to run that down as best as he can. And he was able to make the catch, but he is so very clearly out of bounds.
Pass faded just a little bit on Fitzsimons. Falcon offense was trying to punt from the 35-yard line. You can't do that, boys. The line of scrimmage is 32.
Haskins is back to punt for the Falcons. That's Joe Haskins, the transfer from St. Anselm.
Low end-over-end kick does take a Falcon roll. I think they're going to say the Falcons touched it at about the 35-yard line.
Punt is down.
Haskins took that, is that a rugby-style kick you would call that, as he takes the running start up to it?
A little bit.
From their own 35.
Haskins actually listed on the Falcon roster as a wide receiver, but last week he was mainly handling punting duties and came in as a quarterback late in that game.
He's also on the two deep as the backup quarterback, so I think that's something to watch for whenever the Falcons come out to punt this season. They have some options. First and 10, Castleton at their own 35. Hands high snap. McCarthy does a good job bringing it down, hands it off to Davis, and that is where the positives end. Rich Austin finally brings Davis down a couple yards into the backfield.
As I mentioned, Fitchburg had a couple of disastrous snaps in that regard last week that led to big losses. For McCarthy to leap up there, pull that one down, for Castleton at the very least, they're able to, instead of losing something like 10 yards, they only lose about 2 yards as Davis Jr. just tries to run to the right and get as much as he can out of it.
On that high snap, it just throws off the timing of the whole play. Now second down, Davis runs to the right. This is a better play for Castleton in that they did not lose yardage. In fact, they gained a yard, but it will be third down and 10. Ball still at about their own 35-yard line.
The run more or less going as designed, to run out to the right, but not able to get that clearance there. Shima able to make the tackle for the Falcons. Brings up a third and 10.
Trips receivers to the far right for Castleton. Play action fake, McCarthy looking to his left, now throws over the middle, pass is incomplete. Looks like it was intended for Jared Brockway.
Brockway, the intended receiver, fourth down.
Trying to throw it over the middle, Brockway, he was the second leading receiver last week. The junior out of Framingham trying to make the diving catch, just can't quite get his hands under the ball.
McCarthy had a very narrow window through which to fit that ball, just barely out of the reach of his receiver, Jared Brockway. So the Spartans go 3 and out. This time the punt snap is good. High spiraling kick, taken in at about the 25-yard line. This is Zach Garrison on the return for Fitchburg State. There's a flag in the backfield, or rather back near the area where Garrison took the ball. He's driven out of bounds at about the 40-yard line, but we will check the foul. That area is usually going to be a block in the back or a hold, something that's going to bring this ball back a little bit. Right, Dan?
That's usually the case.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 35. 10-yard penalty, first down.
And it is indeed the case. Timothy O'Neill guilty of the infraction.
See it on the replay, sort of a shoulder shove to Nick Reka there.
Pretty
Knocks
much
him to
right.
the ground.
Sorry, pretty much right as Garrison took in the ball. So they'll assess the penalty from the spot of the foul. When it all comes together, the Falcons will have it first and 10 at their own 20. 3 receivers for Fitchburg State. They go from the pistol. Santiago behind Fitzsimons. Fitzsimons throws to the right. Pass is complete. Out in open space and unable to evade the tackle. Miguel Perez made the catch and gained a couple yards, but he couldn't get any more than that.
About 2 yards gain there for Perez. Didn't really see a whole lot of him in the Cortland game last week, but now getting a chance to make his presence known. And 5'7" is, as we learned from having Herbert Acosta over the last few years, a short stature doesn't mean that you're not able to make big plays.
Second down and about 7. Fumble on the handoff. Fitzsimons falls on it. They were trying to run the stretch out to the right. Stretched a little too far. Wound up losing control of the ball. Like he just put it right in the breadbasket and couldn't let go of it in time. Santiago never gained control of the ball. Falcons lucky to maintain possession there. It's a loss of about 5. Call it now third down and 13. Robert Jackson into the backfield now for third down. Fitzsimons under pressure, rolling to his left, dumps it off to the far side, pass is caught. It's going to be brought down at about the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 8, not nearly enough for the first down, however.
About a 7-yard gain.
And we'll stop the clock as there is an injured Spartan on the play. Pocket collapsed here on Fitzsimons pretty much immediately. Had to scramble out to his left, try to make something happen. Finally found Josh Nelson on the far side.
Supporting their spring break trip today.
Whole host of Castleton players there to bring him down. Again, he's about 5 yards shy of the line to gain. And you can see there Chris Rice, the injured Spartan player. Good to see him back up on his feet at least. Rice, number 93.
It's a huge impact player for Castleton. First team all ECFC last year, and a very damaging pick 6 against the Falcons last year as well.
Haskins on to kick it away. Does so. Ball bounces at about the 45, and the Falcons will down it at the Castleton 40. So it's turned into a battle of field position here. 1:13 to play in the first quarter. Falcons still nursing that 6-0 lead.
So back and forth game. Bits and spurts we're going right now in terms of the offense.
It's a good phrase for it, because neither team has looked truly inept on offense, but aside from that first Falcon possession, they haven't been able to string together plays. Now Castleton running a bit of a jet sweep here. Goes to the far side, not much doing there. Chance Fee, the ball carrier. Came from the near slot in motion, took the handoff.
For the Falcons, 2nd and 9.
Falcon defenders did a good job setting the edge, keeping containment. Fee was only able to gain a couple of yards.
Sophomore wide receiver from Spotswood, New Jersey was Fee.
Fee will line in the farmost slot for us. He's closest to the offensive line of scrimmage. McCarthy back to pass on second down. Under pressure, pass is wobbling, tipped and falls incomplete. I think there were 2 Falcons there, and if either Michael Amoa or A.J. Cadell Jr. were all alone, they would have made that pick, but they both went for it, and neither one of them got it.
39.
Boy, just a rushed pass there from McCarthy. Under pressure, hit as he threw it, looks like. Then again, yes, as you saw it, and as you called it, Amoa and Cadell both going for that ball. Sometimes that happens. 2 players go for a ball and neither of them get it.
It's the second time today that McCarthy has been hurried and had to get rid of the ball quickly. Now Matthew Hesford in the backfield on third down. McCarthy looking to throw to his left. Under pressure again. He throws. Passes tipped and incomplete. Looked like it hit the hands of Mookie Ashima and then was almost caught by Bart Yaros. Neither man was able to make the catch.
4th down.
See there, Ashima definitely got his hands on it. Yaros is not very happy with himself, but after the ball took the deflection, it kind of changed its direction just a little bit, went through his hands. Castleton goes 3 and out. Pressure on the punt even. Gets it away. Garrison with a good return here. He is dragged down from behind. You cannot do that, sir. It's against the rules.
He grabbed the nameplate. That's an obvious horse collar. It's going to be 15 yards.
One of the more clear-cut horse collar tackles you'll ever see. I'm not quite sure why they're deliberating so much.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle on the kicking team. 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
This is a tape that you're going to see in officiating schools across the nation. This is a horse collar tackle. You cannot do that.
Offense, 1st and 10.
Very annoyingly, Castleton has 297s.
I'm going to go ahead and blame Nate Miller because he's bigger and he's listed as a defensive lineman. That's good reasoning, right?
Yep, as opposed to Tristan Clark, who also a freshman, a few inches shorter but not much lighter. They're both over 260 pounds.
It's fine. They're football players.
And we know one of them was the guilty party.
Yes.
Timeout. Fitchburg State. First charge timeout.
All right. So Fitchburg's going to call their first of 3 timeouts. The scoreboard here at Elliott is not putting the timeouts on the thing right now. So
Of course. That's fine.
Just got to keep track of it manually.
We know, and you now know at home because we're about to tell you, that the Falcons have 2 remaining. Dan, the scoreboard operator is 2 feet away from me. I could touch him right now. Don't antagonize the man. Just because you have me between you and him doesn't mean you get to rag on him, okay?
All right.
Okay. I'm not playing mediator. After the 15-yard penalty, Fitchburg State will take over with excellent field position. They're set up 1st and 10 at the Castleton 48-yard line.
And I can also assure you they have since fixed it, and I apologize for any offense
I
to
was
Mr.
moving
Scorpion.
on. It's called changing the subject. Let's talk about football.
We will.
Falcons in the I formation. 2 receivers, just the 1 tight end. Play action fake. Fitzsimons looking to his right. Dumps to his right. Passes high and incomplete. There were 2 men in the area. Jesse Brown was there as well.
Jesse Brown. The intended receiver.
Zach Garrison in the area as well.
2nd and 10.
Different look in the backfield as well for the Falcons on this one. And it's like, again, another issue of 2 players going for the same ball, that
Pretty
time
much.
Brown and Steve Lawton.
So 2nd down now for the Falcons. Jackson gets the carry, his first touch of the game. Gets the edge, cuts it upfield. That's close to a first down. They're going to give him significantly more than that. Thought he got beyond the sticks, maybe not. Very close. We'll take a look at it again.
Close to 10 on the play.
Again, Robert Jackson, his first carry of the game. Finally gets out of bounds about the 38-yard line. So he's going to
That is
be
the end of the first period.
a yard shy of the first down. And Dan, we've come to the end of our first quarter of football this season here at Elliott Field.
The end of the first quarter of college football Saturday here on FATV, with the Falcons holding a 6-0 lead over the Castleton Spartans.
And we do again want to thank our football underwriters, these companies who help make these football telecasts possible here on FATV. IC Credit Union, 300 Bemis Road in Fitchburg. North End Subaru, they're on 757 Chase Road in Lunenburg. Romano's Market, 138 Harvard Street in Fitchburg. There's also Grand Rental Station on 88 Massachusetts Ave in Lunenburg. And the Neshoba Valley Medical Center in Air.
Over Bridgewater State, 14-13. Again, that's a half.
We thank them for all their support.
Absolutely. Really a very positive first quarter for Fitchburg State, Dan. Only the 6 points, but their defense has looked very strong, and obviously you're coming off a 63-0 loss. Everything's going to look like a positive, but there's a lot of positives here.
12 plays for 14 yards. That was Castleton's offense in the first quarter. Falcons 20 plays for 104 yards.
I think you'll take that. That seems good.
Every day. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Falcons as Jackson takes the run up the middle. Still fighting forward for yards.
Jackson with a nice
They
run.
ended up giving him the first down on that last one, by the way. So on the 1st and 10, he gets 8 yards down at the 30-yard line. Again, Fitchburg pushing into Spartan territory.
Once again, they're doing it behind the fullback, Frank Sims IV. Fitchburg State, really a very different offense from the one we saw last year. Last year, it was the spread, it was the shotgun, it was option plays. This isn't quite old school smash mouth football because there are forward passes involved, but this is a much more conventional, traditional, grinding offensive attack, and thus far it's been pretty effective.
On 2nd and 2, Jackson in the backfield again, takes the carry, cuts up towards the sideline, going parallel to the 30, trying to find some space. A flag is on the play.
Early indications are that it's a hold against
Holding,
the Falcons.
offense number 61. 10-yard penalty, second down.
Kevin Ritz, the guilty party. The Falcons will be marched back 10 yards. Let's have a look at the replay.
Couldn't really see anything there. Ritz, I believe, was lined up as the left guard, just to the left of the center. Couldn't tell exactly what they did, but can't do that, Kevin. Whatever it was.
From the Castleton 40.
Also, with all of these shots of the huddle, have you noticed that we're seeing a lot more of Will Jamison's gut than we really should? Is that just me?
Might just be you, but I'm going to have a better look at that.
There's an awful lot of gut there, Will.
Very stretchy uniforms, not quite being able to contain it all. 2nd and 12, Jackson trying to go through the line, but immediately cut down. 3 Spartans converging at the 37-yard line, a 3-yard gain, but it's going to bring up a 3rd and 9.
Spencer Kozlak, one of the initial hits for Castleton. Also Chris Rice in there. Good to see Chris Rice back on the field. He left with an injury in the first quarter. Really not much there. You know, the initial blocking was good, but once that first hole got open, there was no follow-up at all. 3 Spartans were able to take down Jackson.
3rd and 9. Jackson in the backfield. Brown going in motion to the near side. Fitzsimon's dropping back to pass. Slings it. It is caught by Nelson. That's going to be a first down as he cuts to the right to the 20-yard line. 15, 10, 5. A flag at the end.
There are flags down on the
They do
flag.
rule a touchdown, a provisional touchdown, but we have to check the flags.
Was a great individual effort by Josh Nelson after he made the catch. He was being pursued by Jason Gilsinger. Was able to break out of that tackle, get in the open field, evade another one. But perhaps he had some assistance in getting that final block and getting into the end zone.
The flag was fairly late in the run, so if the flag is against Fitchburg, it's not going to wipe the whole thing out.
No, it would definitely be a penalty that would be assessed from the spot of the foul, if indeed there is a foul.
Personal foul, blindside block, offense number 87. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It still results in a Fitchburg State first down.
So Drew Ridenour threw a blindside block that sprang the man for the touchdown. We'll take a look at the whole play again. So the initial jump right here, Nelson got a step on his man. Now Ridenour is 87. We might see him on the replay here. Comes in right there. That hit, they call that a blindside block, huh? I mean, sure, fine, okay.
Sort of because he threw his body into the side of the Castleton defender in his, far enough outside of his peripheral vision, they ruled.
That's fair. I suppose that is fair.
Still a first down, still a good catch for Nelson. And under pressure, just a quick dump off. Fitzsimon's not confident that he could get back to the line of scrimmage, just tries to float one forward, ends up being incomplete.
We'll take a look at this one again. Pocket collapses on Connor Fitzsimons very quickly. He pumps, looks like he wants to take off with it, then sees Nelson open. Can't get the ball to him. Pass ultimately falls incomplete, and it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Ball spotted 26 yards from goal. Falcons leading 6-0, 12:46 to go in the second quarter.
Sims goes in motion to the right.
Jackson will take it on this one. Not much of a hole there. He's only going to get 1 yard out of it. Bring up another 3rd and 9.
Dan, I'm still seeing this trend from the Falcon offense. Every time Frank Sims goes in motion, as he did here, the play is a run to that side. Have you noticed that?
I'm glad you noticed it, but that is a bit of a tell there. Obviously, Sims trying to block the side, tried to give a little more protection to that side to try to create the run, but unless they're trying to play a long game and try to catch them off at some point. Fitzsimons will throw. He's looking for the end zone, looking for Jesse Brown. He's badly overthrown that one.
Jesse Brown, the intended receiver.
Brown had a step on his defender. Pass, however, as you said, was overthrown. Now Fitchburg State is kind of in that maroon zone here. It's far too close to punt. But also this being D3 college football, you're not exactly going to attempt a 43-yard field goal, are you?
I wouldn't. And even if you punted from here, it goes into the end zone, goes back to the 20, you gain 5 yards.
It's a net of 5 yards.
You're better off going for it.
Go for it, or maybe see if Connor's good at the pooch punt.
He'll drop back, throw to the left side. Nelson's going to pull this one down in the vicinity of the 20. Needed to get a little farther than that. It's going to be a turnover on downs.
Catch was made, but they ran a 6-yard pattern when they needed 8.
Insufficient yardage to move the sticks. Falcons will turn it over on downs.
Very good tackling there. Good disciplined work by Jason
Illegal
Gilsinger.
shift on the offense. That penalty is declined. The ball is short of the line to gain. Castleton ball, first down.
Wouldn't have mattered either way. You can see the design there for the Falcons. The idea is very similar to the play where the touchdown was pulled back. You hit Nelson on the quick slant, and then you have him run beyond Gilsinger and pick up the line to gain that way. Gilsinger did a really good job making the tackle, and because of that, they did get the turnover on downs, and penalty doesn't matter.
On first down, McCarthy will hand off to Davis Jr. Davis Jr. stutter stepping around, trying to find a way around the Falcons. Can't do so. He's going to be tackled in the backfield for a loss.
Simon Davis Jr. just has not been able to get anything going on the ground today. This time Castleton fakes the jet sweep, hands it off to him.
Tried to get around Ashima, but instead stepping up there and making the tackle was Evan Drake, freshman from Winchendon.
And now we have whistles. Falcons are not quite sure who they want to have defending here.
A lot of late personnel
Timeout,
switches.
Fitchburg State. Second charge timeout.
So I think what happened, and this is just speculation, Castleton made a substitution and didn't give the Falcons enough time to respond to that substitution, which is why the officials initially blew their whistles. Fitchburg State made a substitution, then thought, actually we want to make a different substitution. And the officials said, no, you can't do that. You either call timeout or we're throwing a flag at you. And they said, timeout. It's all speculation, but the theory fits the facts. Will you at least give me that?
Yep.
Okay.
The threat would have been under defensive delay of game, I would presume.
Oh, yeah. The offense makes a substitution. The defense has a chance to respond, but they don't get to respond 6 times.
You get 1 chance to retort. You don't get 6 chances to retort. If your first response is not strong enough, you don't get to say, oh, can I have a redo? Can I have a do-over?
Your Honor, can I do that over? I didn't talk good. No, you don't get to say that.
11:07 to go, second quarter, 6-0 Falcons.
Glad the rain let up. It was coming down pretty hard about an hour before kickoff.
There was about a 20% chance of rain here today in Fitchburg. So 1 in 5 chances. We do this game 4 more times, the rain stays away. Yeah, that's how statistics work, right?
Sure. Let's say that.
2nd and 10. McCarthy looking to his left, looking all day to his left. Long streaking pass downfield. That is caught and pushed out of bounds there. Anthony Martinez, a big gain for the Spartans.
It's the first big shot downfield. There is a flag, however, back near the line of scrimmage.
Offense, number 78. 10-yard penalty, second down.
And this one's coming back.
Grant DiBenedetto, the guilty party, and you can forget all the things I just said.
DiBenedetto, 78, the right tackle, I believe. Couldn't exactly see what the foul was there. Thought maybe they got him for the hold there, but, well, they did get him for holding. We just couldn't see why. As I was about to say, though, that was really the first shot downfield Castleton has taken. It's been a lot of short intermediate passes and a lot of handoffs. Okay, we'll take a look at it again right there. That's a fantastic shot. Is that Matt Murdocca running that camera? No, it's someone else. It's one of the many Matts. We have several Matts running camera for us today.
McCarthy, under a bit of pressure, makes the dump-off throw. Catch is made. Dylan Ellis able to pull that one in, try to get some yards out of it. Down at the 15-yard line, a gain of about 6. About a 3rd and long for the visitors from Castleton, Vermont.
So real quick, Dan, as we take a look at this replay here, we know it's not Matt Murdocca. So we look at our crew list and we say, well, it's the other Matt. Here's the problem. There are 2 other Matts. So either Matt Picciotto or Matt Gendison, it's a great shot. I love it. Fantastic work. Which one of you did it? I don't know. I met you both today. I'm sorry.
3rd down, 15 to go. McCarthy looks left sideline. That is up in the air, contested and intercepted. Malik Crawford pulls that one in.
Interception on the play.
This all comes back to that penalty. It gave them 2nd down and 20. Castleton got a little bit back, but they were still faced with 3rd down and 15. They have to take the deep shot. They take it to the far side. And you'll see here as we take a look at it again, Crawford reads that all the way. He's playing that deep zone. He jumps up and he makes the pick. And now Fitchburg State has it deep in Castleton territory. They'll have it at the Spartan 35-yard line.
A lot of fresh faces on offense for the Falcons, but a lot of grizzled veterans on defense for the green and gold. And Malik Crawford able to pull that one in. He's been plugging away the last few years. But Simons with the handoff on 1st down. Chain crew run for their lives as Jackson carries it out to the sideline. Doesn't gain very much on that one. Actually may have lost a yard there.
Combining for the catch and stop.
Jackson just tried once again to get outside. This time he couldn't turn the corner. Maybe lost a yard. Fitchburg State's offense, which looked so good on their first drive and has shown flashes of brilliance thus far in the first half of this one, set up with their best field position, best chance to make this a 2-score game.
On 2nd down, Fitzsimons throws left side. That's caught. That's Perez. Racing to the sideline, out of bounds, just short of the 25-yard line.
Miguel Perez with the reception.
Miguel Perez, the 3rd receiver for the Falcons. Lines up in the near slot, runs a quick little out pattern. Makes the catch, and he's shoved out of bounds. After a gain of about 8, let's call it 3rd down and 3.
Need to get to the 25 for a first. Looks like the stick is right on the 25-yard line, a visible target for the offense and defense to see. Jackson again in the backfield for the Falcons. They're going to hand off to him on the left side. Chris Rice read that well. Ball is loose. A scramble for the football. Fitchburg had that one.
The runner was ruled down. The runner is down.
The officials are actually saying that Jackson was down. I think they're saying he never fumbled it at all. Take a look at it here.
Chris Rice stepping up there.
I don't think he was down.
He was not down by contact there, but I do believe, though, that he was the first to recover it.
He's clearly down there. He clearly recovers it. Maybe his calf was down. I didn't think so. Either way, it is 4th down, and Fitchburg State will punt from the 32-yard line.
Askin's going to try to aim for the corner here. It's a good one.
That man has been practicing his coffin corner punts. That is a remarkable kick. In the books, it's only a 30-yard punt, but he was punting from the 32-yard line. This is a fantastic kick.
A beautifully executed coffin corner punt. I remember when I was younger in the older Maddens, they used to have that as a
They had the little
mini-game.
drill with the targets. Yeah.
Oh, I was good at that one.
If you had Dan Bolak in your Who Directory References Madden for a 2nd time in this game pool, you just won a lot of money.
Now, Castleton pinned deep in their own territory, pushing them back behind the goal line. Forward progress is going to prevent the safety, I believe.
Falcon defense wanted the safety. They didn't get it. You see there, Evan Drake coming off, had his helmet come off. Guess Davis did get just outside of the goal line. Falcon defense drove him back there, but it is now 2nd down and 11.
Castleton in scary territory here. McCarthy gives off to Davis, able to get out of the end zone, able to get to the 6. Morikita stepping up there.
And the danger, Dan, for the defense on a situation like this, you're so eager for that safety. You want those 2 points. You're coming so hard. There's a risk, and it almost happened here, that Davis bounces that to the outside and goes 99 yards the other way. So the Falcon defense did a good job containing him, managed to not even allow him to gain the 1st down. As you said, Morikita was there, Malik Crawford was there as well. Now 3rd down for the Spartans.
McCarthy dancing on the goal line, throws incomplete. Wanted Dylan Ellis, but 2-3 Falcons there to step up. And nothing going there for the Spartans. Gonna have to punt from deep in their own end zone. See AJ Cadell, one of the Falcons there. Also Joel Montero, all coming together on that one. Dylan Ellis is being treated to on the field right now. So we have a stoppage in play, 6:53 to go in the second, 6-0 Fitchburg.
Gives us a chance to mention the upcoming FATV football telecast schedule. This coming Friday, September the 20th, it'll be our first Red Raider home game of the season. The Raiders at historic Crocker Field taking on Tantascwa. A couple of weeks from today, it's back here to Elliott Field as the Falcons take on Bridgewater State. That's a heck of a game. Bridgewater State, a very powerful opponent. That's a 12 noon kickoff here on FATV.
Oregon had to pick that ball up off the ground, able to punt it away, and is fielded there by Zach Garrison at the 35-yard line. And Fitchburg going to have good field position again.
Zach Garrison had visions of the end zone dancing in his head as he took that catch on a dead run, but he ran right into Nick Recca, who hit him like a Recca-ing ball.
Ooh.
Thank you. Thank you. First bad pun of the season.
Many more to follow.
I'm sure. Many more.
Castleton's offense really struggling. McCarthy 3 of 11 through the air for 17 yards. Simon Davis Jr. 6 carries for 5 yards. And now the Falcons again challenging in Castleton territory. 1st and 10, a run up the middle. Believe that was JC Santiago. And he's only going to be able to settle for about 6 feet. Also coming out with it at the end, well after the play is over, is Jacob Griggs.
Santiago back on the field after Robert Jackson had played a few series. Early in the season, couple of young running backs. Understandable that Jim McGuire would be looking to find the man to maybe carry the full load, or maybe they're just going to split carries all season. Who knows?
As the season progresses, we will see how things will go for the Falcons in the backfield. Neither of them had any snaps in their career coming into this season as Fitzsimon slings it downfield to the left corner looking for Jesse Brown. He's out of bounds, but a flag thrown. It looks like the referee there might be fixing for a DPI.
There's a flag down.
Falcons have run that play a couple of times already. Just toss it up for Brown on the streak. It looked to my eye like the defender pushed him out of bounds as he was making the catch.
The pass is ruled incomplete. We do have offensive pass interference. Offense number 4, 15 yards. Repeat the down.
So they're actually calling OPI, pass interference against Brown. So that'll be a 15-yard penalty to back the Falcons up. We'll take a look at it here. See Brown there. He is jostling with the defender. I guess maybe there was some pushing involved there. Didn't really see it, but it's conceivable there was.
I think he got a bit of the handful of the 25 on the back of Nick Recca's jersey, and I think that's what they were looking at there. So second and very long, and JC Santiago pushing forward, going to get a couple more yards, but they need a lot more than a couple. They'll bring up third and very long.
Second down and 29. There aren't too many plays in the playbook for that situation. Falcons decide to run their first draw of the game. Didn't really catch the Spartans that off guard.
See Captain Dustin Rock getting a handful of the jersey of Santiago and pulling him down. Need to get to the 25 for a first. So third down and 22. One in the backfield out of the shotgun. Fitzsimons with a bit of time, slings it over the middle, nearly intercepted. Looking for Ridenour, overthrew him. And instead, one of the backs there, Luke Issa, trying to pull that one down for Castleton, but unable to do so.
Ridenour had a step, but it was a very tight needle to thread. I think Fitzsimons is grateful that he overthrew that one instead of underthrowing it, because there were a couple of Spartans right there. Fitchburg State will kick it away again.
Joe Haskins back in there to punt. Drives this one downfield, looking for that right sideline again. Looking for another coffin corner. He's got it inside the 10 yet again.
Joe Haskins, have yourself a day, man. 2 punts out of bounds inside the 10-yard line here in the first half.
Joe Haskins knows how to coffin corner.
So Castleton once again will be backed up deep in their own territory. 1st and 10 at the 8. It's really tough when you have an offense that hasn't really gelled and hasn't been able to put together more than 1 or 2 first downs at a time. When you're set up at your own 8-yard line, I mean, getting to midfield would be an accomplishment, wouldn't it?
Yes, for Castleton, the wheels spinning against this Fitchburg State team. McCarthy throws, that is complete. On the left side, Sejon McIntosh able to get that one.
John McIntosh.
John McIntosh.
Well, you said Sejon McIntosh, so I said John McIntosh.
Ah!
It was a bad joke, you see.
It flew over my head.
It did.
2nd and 4.
The first-year Spartan able to pull that one in, and on 2nd down,
Davis ball carrier.
Lucas Morse the carry.
Correction, Lucas Morris, the ball carrier.
he's a junior
Short gain
from Whitehall, New York. Gets this one instead on 2nd down. Instead of the more familiar 30, it's number 20 instead for the Spartans. Wrapped up after not very much gained. Third, but a manageable 2 yards for the Spartans. Looking for another run here. His foot wrapped up.
Morse, the ball carrier.
Morse not able to get a whole lot this time as Drake loses his helmet again.
No gain of a play.
Drake may have lost his helmet, but he is the reason that Lucas Morse did not pick up the first down. He came pretty much unblocked on the blitz and then wrapped himself around Morse's leg. Take a look at this. He delivers the hit. He's got his arm around his waist, and now he's just going to hold on. He's got it by the towel. He's dragging him down by his towel, which it's part of the uniform. You can do that. It's not a horse collar.
Hunting unit on for the Spartans.
Guess that's the risk of having a towel on your jersey to begin with.
Pretty much.
Set team for Fitchburg.
So Castleton backed up deep in their own territory. They go 3 and out, struggling to get a number of appropriate guys on the field for the punt, and they will in fact take timeout.
First of 3 called by the Spartans.
Castleton, first charge timeout.
2:59 to go, 2nd quarter. Fitchburg State 6, Castleton 0.
Friday night final.
So now then, Fitchburg State, assuming Castleton kicks here, which I feel safe saying they will, the Falcons are going to get the ball back with pretty good field position, just under 3 minutes to play. They still have a timeout. There's plenty of time for the offense, if they can put a few drives together here, to get in the end zone and make this a 2-score game as we head into the locker rooms.
All absolute possibilities for the Falcons. And one thing we haven't done today, we haven't done a scoreboard update.
We have not. Have we a scoreboard update? Oh my goodness, Plymouth State is beating the heck out of Maine Maritime, I'll tell you that.
48-0, that's the Plymouth State team that beat Castleton last week.
How about that Husson UMass Dartmouth score?
41-41. near the end of the fourth.
That's a good game.
Bridgewater falls to 0-2. They lose 35-28 to St. John Fisher.
Take a look at this play once again. Evan Drake has him by the towel, and he's dragging him backward.
Oregon has to pick this one off the ground again. Garrison has it go through his hands. He's able to jump on the football. But ultimately, the Falcons, for the first time in a little while, will have to start from their own territory with 2:51 to go in the second.
Falcons have been very lucky with putting the ball on the ground thus far today, Dan. I believe that's the third time that they've muffed a kick or had a fumble, and each time they have been the ones to fall on. It's not predictive, but it's lucky. Let's say that.
We mentioned last week the Falcons were credited with 8 fumbles against Cortland.
Are you really credited with 8 fumbles? It's a lot of
However,
Assessed.
charged with 8 fumbles, assessed 8 fumbles. They only lost 1 of those 8 fumbles. Most of those off those bad snaps, as I've alluded to. But on first down, a rugby maul form there, and Castleton the stronger side. Stop with forward progress there. Santiago gains a couple.
2nd and 9.
Falcons went back to that I formation look. We've seen that a few times from them today. Really nothing happening there.
It's been a struggle lately for the Falcons to gain yards on the ground. As Castleton's starting to dial into the Falcons' run game. Do the Falcons feel comfortable passing? 2nd down, Fitzsimon's looking to pass. Finds Josh Nelson on the near side, and he's going to get to about the yard to gain, the line to gain, which was the 44-yard line.
They will stop the clock and move the chains. It'll be a Fitchburg first down.
Good for a Fitchburg. First down.
This time it's almost an extended handoff, this quick little hitch. They get it out to Nelson at about midfield and then let him do the rest. And the rest is 6-7 more yards and a first down.
Still great to see the Falcons move the chains. Whistles here. Perhaps another timeout.
Falcons
Timeout.
are taking their third
Pittsburgh
timeout
State.
now.
That is their third and final timeout.
1:47 to go in the first half. Still a 6-0 lead, but now the Falcons, no more timeouts.
I feel safe saying that wasn't a strategic use of the timeout. It was probably just communication errors between the coaching staff and the offense. Let's have some more scores here.
All right. So Bridgewater falls to 0-2 with their 35-28 loss to St. John Fisher. Framingham also went out to New York State. They took on Brockport, lost to the Golden Eagles 14-0. The Rams are now 0-2.
Bridgewater and Framingham, real quick, those will be the next 2 Falcon home games we see right here on FATV.
I imagine they're going to be bringing in a little bit of frustration going into conference play. Also, a quick ECFC score, Union trashing Anna Maria 47-0 in the fourth.
That's bad. It's not good for Anna Maria.
It is not good for Anna Maria. They're looking to fall to 0-2 as well. So Fitzsimon's under pressure, shakes out of a couple tackles, eventually taken down in the backfield for a loss of 3 yards. That could have been a lot worse.
3 on the play.
Fitzsimons did a good job stepping up after the initial rush. He couldn't break free,
Timeout.
however.
Castleton.
And now
Second charge,
Castleton
timeout.
will take timeout.
Fitchburg was going with the hurry up after that, just racing back to the line, and the Spartans clearly were not ready for another snap. So they have to call their second timeout. Give Chris Rice the sack there. And we know from having seen the Spartans last year, Rice can be everywhere.
Certainly when you least want him to be.
Absolutely. So
So
94 seconds to go here in this second quarter. Still 6-0 in favor of the Falcons.
And this becomes a very interesting play call on 2nd down and 13. Castleton has 1 timeout left. So if you're Fitchburg and you throw the ball, you risk an incomplete pass, essentially giving them a free clock stoppage.
The running game hasn't been quite there. They're going to go with the pass. It's going to be complete. Josh Nelson pulls that one down. He'll be down at the 39-yard line. They get about half the distance they need. It's going to bring up another 3rd down.
Gain of about 8 on the play brings up 3rd and long.
Falcons hurrying back to the line.
5th catch already of the day for Nelson. Flag flying here.
Number 71 of the offense was not set.
Falcons hurrying a little too quickly back to the line. Back them up 5 yards.
I think Fitzsimon's muttering some words of frustration after that. They thought they had that one dialed in, but not so, says the referee.
Close one earlier today.
So 71 seconds left in the quarter and in the half.
So it will now be 3rd down and about 11, it looks like. I believe the officials are...
Officials timeout.
The officials are not quite sure where to put the ball, I believe.
See if they were rushing
The
it a little
game
too much
clock will
themselves.
start on my wind.
Going to start the clock at the official's whistle. There it goes.
That's what they wanted to make sure, that when the ball was ready for play, they restarted the clock. Now it's 60 seconds. Fitzsimons steps up, throws right side. This is going to be intercepted. Badly overthrown that time, and the Spartan defense makes them pay.
I'm going to put this one to miscommunication more than an overthrow, actually, Dan. It looks to my eye like Jesse Brown ran a deep hook or a deep comeback, and Fitzsimons expected him. You see Brown there having come back to the pass. Fitzsimons throws it up as though Brown is just running the streak. I don't know, maybe that was an option play, and they weren't on the same decision as to which option Brown was going to take. Maybe there was miscommunication as to the play call, but I think that was a communication error more than an overthrow. The result is the same. It's still a pick.
Nick Raka getting the interception. The Spartans only had 5 all of last season. On first down, the run there, boom. Davis Jr. just trying to get to the flank, and by the time he gets there, he's met by a lot of Falcons.
Met by a whole host of Falcons, including David Morales. You see Morales getting up there, holding his midsection. He's actually going to head to the sideline.
Cadell and Drake combined for the Fitchburg hit.
Morales delivers the hit, has some guys fall on him. We'll keep an eye on him as we head into the second half of action.
Time still keep running there. You can see at the top of your screen, 6 seconds between game and play clock. And they're just going to take this run up the middle, try to protect the football. Fitchburg can't stop the clock, so Castleton is going to go into halftime trailing 6-0.
End of the second period.
In a game in which the Spartans just couldn't quite get anything going on offense. A great performance by the Falcon defense in this first half.
Really, Dan, it's an excellent performance by the Fitchburg State defense. And if you're a Castleton fan, maybe watching us on fatv.org from Castleton, Vermont, first of all, welcome. And second of all, you have to be counting your blessings that you're only down 6. They've been backed down inside their own 10-yard line twice. They've had basically nothing going on offense, and Fitchburg has not been able to capitalize, so it's only a 1-score game.
The Falcons have had their chances offensively, haven't quite been able to punish Castleton in regards to gaining all that great field position. Some fairly good numbers out of that first half, but I think the big thing for Castleton in their defense was in regards to the Falcon run game, they were able to sort of figure out what the Falcons were doing with that, and the Falcons haven't had a particularly good run in a while.
Well, the Falcon coaches and players will head to the locker rooms, maybe scheme up some new runs, try to loosen up that Spartan defense. We'll take the break alongside them, come back with you for the second half. It is the opening day here at Elliott Field. It's Fitchburg State University football on FATV. Back here at Elliott Field for the second half of action. The rain has picked up, as we believe you can see there. Should make an even tighter second half of football as the Falcons take on Castleton. I'm John Gugerty, joined as always by Dan Bolek. And Dan, you will have the call for the third quarter of action.
Thank you very much, John. It's Benedict Cesare Thompson to kick this one away. A high floating kick going to be taken in by an up man who's going to try to bring it as far as he can to the 40, still going, and matched up at the 45-yard line. Robert Jackson actually making the tackle there.
It was Lucas Morse on the return for the Spartans. Saw him as a ball carrier a little bit early in the first half.
So a tailback tackling a tailback there. And Castleton's going to have some of their best field position of the day.
For once, they're not inside their 10. Castleton will come out led by Jacob McCarthy. Offense really nothing doing in the first half. McCarthy 4 completions from 12 attempts and just 23 yards passing.
He had just 9 misses on 31 against Plymouth last week. On first down, Simon Davis Jr. bouncing out to the right side. Now Castleton really pushing forward.
Simon Davis Jr. the ball carrier.
Really good
About 8 on the play.
rugby maul formed there by the Spartans, getting a few extra yards on that one. Looked like Davis Jr. would be stopped for about 4. He's going to get about 7 instead.
That 7-yard carry, believe it or not, is the longest rushing play of the day for Castleton. Simon Davis Jr. just 7 yards on 8 carries in the first half.
On second down, a flag was thrown pretty early in that, as Davis Jr. would get about a yard. That's a provisional yard gained, as we'll check the flag. It was thrown on the snap by the official on the near sideline.
Offsides. Defense number 21. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
That 5-yard penalty against the Falcons is their 7th of the game already.
Castleton first and 10 from the Fitchburg 43.
It's one of the reasons Fitchburg State only able to put together 6 points in the first half.
Accomplishing things, then getting backed up. As McCarthy throws to the right side, Ellis pulls this one in around the 39-yard line. Mark him at the 38, gets about halfway to where he needed to be for the first.
Maury Keita had to hit for Fitchburg State. 2nd and 4.
But the lack of discipline a bit surprising for the Falcons. They actually now averaged about as much as 7 penalties a game. They averaged 6.7 last year. On second down, Davis Jr. up the middle, not getting a whole lot there. And again, the run game has been a struggle on both sides today. The Falcons have had a couple nice runs from each of their tailbacks, but beyond that, nothing much either way. And the 7-yard run that you saw from Davis Jr. with a lot of help from the Castleton O-line was the best run that the Spartans have had all day.
Now on 3rd down and 2, interesting play call for Castleton. You'd think they would run given the short yardage.
They will run, go to the right side, and wrapped up short of the line to gain was Davis Jr. And the Spartans are going to fall to 0 for 7 on 3rd down today.
Malik Crawford did a great job with the open field tackle. Davis had all the room in the world to work with, couldn't really commit to a path. We'll see it here. Davis cuts out to the right. He's got the one man to beat, and it's Crawford, and he just drags him down.
On 4th down, looks like a sneak. It is a sneak by McCarthy, and the Falcons pulled that one off earlier today with Connor Fitzsimons, and now the Spartans show they can do that as well.
Take a look at it again. Castleton maybe didn't telegraph this one as much as the Falcons did on their 4th and 1 sneak earlier, but I mean, when it's 4th and half a yard, the sneak is almost unstoppable.
On 1st down, again, another run. It's going to be Davis. Breaks to the 25. Gets 5 on that one.
Arnold Cadell Jr. had to hit for Pittsburgh. 2nd and 5.
Under 12 to go, 3rd quarter. And really, for the first time all day, Castleton is threatening. But on 2nd down, the run well read by the Falcons, and everybody there to collapse on Davis.
Gave back almost all of the yardage he gained on 1st down. Back him up. We'll call it about 3rd down and 7 now for the Spartans.
3rd and 7.
Nothing has come easy for Castleton today.
I would think this is definitely 4-down territory for Castleton. You see there an entire flock of Falcons on top of Simon Davis Jr.
McCarthy looking, throws over the middle. That's going to be caught.
McCarthy's pass complete.
Pulled in there by Jared Brockway for the first time today. Castleton converts on 3rd down.
Brockway lined up on the slot in the near side here. Just a quick slant right up the middle of the field. Got a step on Muki Ashima, and that was all he needed.
Spartans in the red zone now on first down. Davis trying to cut up the middle, trying to find that hole.
Davis, the ball carrier, gain of about 7.
And now Castleton's running game is starting to put stuff together, Dan. If they can get chunks, 4, 5, 6 yards, they can move the ball downfield. Despite how one-sided the first half felt, it's only a one-score game.
Still 6-0. And they've kept Davis in there. Run after run after run. 2nd and 3 from the 11. And Davis again trying to find the left flank, trying to find an opening. Going towards the pylon. It's a touchdown!
Castleton unable to put together anything even resembling a drive in the first half. They come out of the lockers for the third quarter and march downfield. Fitchburg State got them to 4th and half a yard, but that was as close as they came to stopping them. The Spartans are an extra point away from taking the lead. Looks like Simon Davis Jr. is shaken up here. He's being attended to right at the back left corner of the end zone. Gives us a chance once again to thank, if I can find the list, our presenting football underwriters for FATV football games this year. Perhaps we'll do that after the extra point.
Now a bit of entertainment. Andy Kanosh going to kick the extra point. Last year, he had his first 3 attempts here at Elliott Field, and they were all blocked. He was only 1 for 4 in last year's meeting.
Well, he's got another season under his belt, legs, whatever.
So we'll see what the Falcons can do on this one. Kick is up, and it is good. 10-10 to go, third quarter. The Spartans lead for the first time today. It's 7-6.
Castleton takes the 7-6 lead. We do want to thank our football underwriters, IC Credit Union, 300 Bemis Road in Fitchburg, North End Subaru, 757 Chase Road in Lunenburg, Romano's Market on 138 Harvard Street in Fitchburg, Grand Rental Station, 88 Massachusetts Ave in Lunenburg, and the Neshoba Valley Medical Center in Ayer. Thank you once again for underwriting this and all football telecasts here on FATV.
Now as the Falcons expect to get the ball back here, just under 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes gone in the third quarter. They now trail for the first time today. And we saw that the Falcons offense can put some things together. The question though is the penalties, the discipline. Some of the other thoughts, John?
It's been, get a first down, sputter and punt. Then the next drive, get a first down, sputter and punt. They haven't, aside from their first drive where they got 3-4 first downs in a row and then were able to punch it in for the touchdown, Fitchburg State's offense hasn't maintained that momentum over the course of an entire drive.
The two teams had to switch sides there. They lined up going the wrong way. Noah Crossman.
Castleton knows how football is played, right? You scored this way, you go all the way up, and then you kick it back down.
Noah Crossman, he handles the kickoffs for the Spartans. Different player dedicated each to extra points, punting, and kickoffs. A low liner down the field, and that's going to go out of bounds.
Flag down.
And the Falcons will get good field position.
Spotted 30 yards from the kickoff. That'll be the Falcon 35.
Come on, it's a kick out of bounds. We all know this. Come up and say it. You don't have
The free kick out of bounds against the kicking team. Fitchburg State will take the ball 1st and 10 on their own 35.
Our referee today, though, is a very good speaker.
He is. He knows what he wants to say. He just takes a while to get it out. Kind of the exact opposite of us. We talk fast, and hopefully it sounds good on the other end.
Falcons will have their first possession of the second half, now trailing 7-6. Perez will go in motion to the near side this time. As Fitzsimons looks, throws, complete to Robert Jackson. Jackson on the near side to the 40, and pushed out of bounds at the 44-yard line, just short of the yard to gain, but there is a flag in the backfield.
Dan, I am going to tell you 2 facts, and I suspect they're related. 1, there is a flag down. 2, Connor Fitzsimons took a long time getting up.
Yeah. Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 93. 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
See, I told you they were related.
Well, the Falcons needn't worry about getting backed up that time. Chris Rice just a bit late on that one, and the Falcons get a bonus 15 yards out of it.
Take a look at it here. Rice coming on the left edge, and right there, after Fitzsimons releases the ball, Rice lowers his helmet, delivers the hit, shoves Fitzsimons down to the ground. You cannot do that.
Rittenauer will go in motion to the right side. See what the Falcons do here, and it's a run to the right side. Just because it's not Frank Sims the fourth making the motion.
It's a completely different play, Dan. I don't know what you're talking about. See, they send the tight end in motion, but the tight end's a different guy. They didn't know it was coming.
It'll be a gain of a yard for the Falcons.
In all seriousness, no, I fully expect one of these times the Falcons are going to send their tight end in motion to the right and do play action and go deep, or play action and QB bootleg. Like if Fitzsimons wanted to, he could have run that himself and gone for 20 yards. They're gonna do something. They are at least a little bit creative, right?
I have to think at some point they're gonna pull that out of their hat. I mean, that's called playing the long game.
Yeah.
2 receivers to the left for the Falcons, 1 to the right on second down out of the pistol. Fitzsimons looks, rush throw, and it's gonna be over the head of Perez as he's hit as the ball falls incomplete.
Nick Fecto came basically unblocked. Pressured Fitzsimons, made him get rid of that ball. Pass wasn't as accurate as he would have liked. Take a look at it again. See the pass is high and wobbling. Then to make matters worse,
Ethan Palazetti coming in on that one, I do believe. That's another one of those duplicate numbers there for Castleton. 3rd and 9 for the Falcons as Fitzsimons drops back under pressure, goes to his right now, wants to throw, not going to be able to get the opportunity to throw, and just has to scramble out of bounds on the near side.
I think Connor Fitzsimons would have had better success if he had pulled the ball down and run with it when he first started to look like it. We'll see here, he's looking to his left, good coverage, pocket collapses a little bit, he wants to run and then he decides better stay behind the line of scrimmage rather. Finally, there's nothing there. Fitchburg State was set up 1st and 10 inside the Castleton, inside midfield, and they're gonna kick it away.
So Joe Haskins, he's been doing well with the coffin corners today. Gonna have another go. And it looks like he's nailed it again.
I think we're approaching the point where Joe Haskins has to be in consideration for offensive MVP for the Falcons. That's 2 punts down inside the 5. He had a 3rd that went out of bounds at the 8. Joe Haskins is having a really, really good day.
Remember last year when the Falcons played Worcester State, they had to deal with Cam Charette, a wide receiver by trade, who would pin the Falcons inside the 10 several times, and Joe Haskins doing a strong impersonation of him today. Again, doing an excellent job on the coffin cornering. And now Castleton pinned deep in their own territory. First down, looking for another handoff. They're going to get that space there. As it was,
I believe that's Devin Woolner, the ball carrier. Okay, Dan, now they're mean to us. They're using both of their 21s.
They are.
Because they have Ethan Palazetti on defense and Devin Woolner getting the carry here.
So Woolner's first carry of the day. Gets to about the 10-yard line. This time, trying to get to the flank. Ends up getting there. Gets about 5 on that one to the 15-yard line. A first down coming for the Spartans.
Devin Woolner, 2 carries, 13 yards. Gives Castleton some much-needed breathing room, if nothing else. Gets them outside the shadow of their own end zone. If this drive falls apart and they have to punt, they don't have to worry about, a compressed situation like that. We've already seen plenty of bad snaps on punts for the Spartans here today. That is the largest tailback I have ever seen.
And they're going to give it to him. And so, on first down.
That's Tristan Clark, number 97. Freshman from Lexington, Alabama.
5'9", 266, and they gave him a D lineman number. Perfectly eligible in college football.
Of course. I mean, it makes sense. You look at a guy like that, you expect him to be wearing number 97. You just don't expect him to be lined up as a tailback.
He'll stay in the backfield here on second down. As again, Castleton going with the power, but he's going to be a blocking back there as the throw is complete to Martinez.
Spartans have had a little bit of trouble with the blocking. Saw McCarthy under pressure a few times in the first half.
Had to hit the fourth out for Fitchburg. 3rd and 3.
And it was so important for him to be lined up there. Put it this way, they tried to do play action there, and McCarthy gets decked by Sam Kenny, but that time they put Clark back there, and he basically acts as an additional blocker there. So on third down, McCarthy looking to his right. This one going to be caught. Dylan Ellis.
Great job by Ellis. He makes the catch, and then he's able to hang on to the ball even as he's hit. Picks up another first down for the Spartans. Take a look at it again.
Spartans 1st and 10 from their own 30.
It's one of the best looking balls we've seen out of McCarthy's hand today. Just a beautiful tight spiral right to his man.
Clark will take it on first down, and he's rumbling downfield. He lost the football. A scramble for it. There's also a flag on the play. The preliminary indication is that it's Falcon ball.
So the ball's out. There's a flag down back at the line of scrimmage. The officials have already signaled that now they're saying second down.
The umpire, I saw him point Falcon ball at first, then he later pointed Castleton ball. There's also a Spartan hurt. That looks like it is Clark.
It is.
And there's an official timeout.
Take a look at it again, see if we can find the penalty or the possible fumble. See there, Clark being taken off. All right, so you might have a hold right there.
Holding
There's the
on
fumble.
the offense, number 54. 10-yard penalty, second down.
So the hold is on 54, and it is right there. You see him basically shoving number 69 for the Falcons out of the way. And the ball comes loose, and somewhere at the bottom of the pile, Spartans did manage to fall on it.
The Falcons had recovered, they would have declined the penalty and taken the ball, but instead, now a 2nd and 13. It's McCarthy with time, throws over the middle, incomplete, just out of the reach of Zachary Licata.
It was a traffic jam over the middle there.
3rd and 13.
McCarthy gets it away just before he's hit. 2 Spartans, 4 Falcons, nobody touches the ball.
See it almost out of the hands of Martinez as well. It'll be a 3rd and 13. It will remain Woolner in the backfield, the freshman running back from New Jersey. On 3rd and 13. It's McCarthy looking to his right again, stepping up with time. Throws, and it is complete. Martinez shakes off a tackle, and he is running downfield. McCarthy, it's still Martinez, and he's tripped up at the 10-yard line.
Anthony Martinez just barely could not get away from Joel Montero, but that big strike is the biggest play of this game. Sets Castleton up deep in Falcon territory. I think they're going to spot him right at the 10-yard line where it will be first down and goal. And the Spartans are hurrying back to the line. They want to capitalize right now.
They want the momentum. Woolner having trouble finding anywhere to go. Stays on his feet, pushes forward, gets a couple yards.
Gain of a couple.
Castleton caught the Falcons on the back foot. This is going to be the big play to Martinez. McCarthy plenty of time, a beautiful throw. Martinez dives away from his coverage, and now it's just a foot race downfield. Finally tripped up, brought down at the 10-yard line.
Kiambu Jones able to make that shoestring tackle to stop Martinez from getting into the end zone. Woolner on second down. Doesn't really get anywhere.
The ball carrier.
Caleb Gonsalves, the tackle. Junior D lineman from Mashpee.
Gonsalves had to hit
One of the many returning veterans on this Falcon defense.
3rd and goal from the 8.
3rd and goal.
The Falcons looking for better success in the red zone on defense than they had last year. And in motion going to the right is Ellis, but a flag thrown.
That'll back the Spartans up even further.
False start. Offense. Number 70. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Ben Reed goes too early. It'll be 13 to goal on 3rd down for Castleton.
Remains 3rd and goal for the Spartans.
They'll rewind the clock. Woolner remains in the backfield, 2 receivers to the right. Now Ellis will make it a 3rd on the right side. On the snap, McCarthy is going to scramble with it. Now he throws, and it's overthrown and incomplete.
McCarthy's pass falls incomplete.
Was trying to find Dylan Ellis, just a little bit overthrown. And now 4th down and 13, well, 4th and goal from the 13. We will see the field goal unit for the Spartans.
Andy Kanosh will come onto the field to kick what will be about a 30-yard field goal. Looks like 31 exactly. We see it on the replay.
Andy Kanosh.
That ball was going to land out of bounds anyway.
Attempt a
Saw
31-yard
Ellis signal he was open. Ball was fortunately was just overthrown.
31 yards, straight shot for Kanosh. Kick is up, and it is good.
Kick is good.
3:18 to go, 3rd quarter. Castleton 10, Falcons 6.
And now, Dan, the failures of the first half to gain those extra points, to capitalize on good field position, to punish Castleton for their mistakes, it's really coming to roost for the Falcons. They should have had more than 6 points. They should, in all right, probably still be leading this game, but instead they find themselves down now by 4, needing a touchdown to retake the lead.
They had a few drives where they were deep into Castleton territory, undone by careless mistakes.
41 over Hudson.
Now the Falcons fortunate to hold the Spartans to a field goal, keep it a 1-possession game.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, is this the first year we've seen the Falcons go with these kind of coded signal boards on the sideline? We've seen a few visiting teams use that in the past few years. I think this is the first time we've seen the Falcons do it.
Might be the case. I can't exactly remember off the top of my head. I know they used to have like those intramural scoreboards with numbers.
Mm-hmm.
That was something they used in a previous year.
I just wonder what, I wonder what Clemson Cleveland Browns Willie McGinnis means. I'm sure it means something.
Noah Crossman ready to kick it away.
Crossman to kick it away.
His last kickoff went into touch on the near side. See if we have an actual return this time. Looks like we will, as it's taken in by Josh Nelson. Nelson trying to stutter step there, but tripped up and falls down just short of the 25-yard line.
Dawson Pearson, freshman strong safety, did a really good job. He was the first guy there, the first one to get a hand on Nelson, and he tripped him up right at the 25-yard line. Take a look at it here. Just that one little move, that one hand around the right hip was all it took to bring him down.
3:12 to go in the 3rd quarter. Falcons were outgaining the Spartans until the last couple of drives, and now Castleton ahead on the total yards by 176 to 175. On first down, the handoff goes to Robert Jackson, tries to get to the near side. Jackson trying to push forward, but eventually driven out of bounds. Reka stepping up there to guide him out.
Gain of about 3 for Jackson.
Second and 6.
Try to bounce it out to the outside. Castleton does a good job maintaining their edge. Give him a gain of about 4. It'll be second down and 6.
So from about the 29-yard line, J.C. Santiago now in the backfield. 2 receivers to the left for the green and gold. Fitzsimmons dropping back, looking to his left. That pass tipped as he threw it, but Nelson able to make the catch anyway. Stood up at the 30-yard line. That's about as far as he goes. Palizzetti stepping up there.
3rd and 5.
Just barely looked like that pass was deflected as it crossed the line of scrimmage.
It'll be the 6th catch of the day for Nelson, up to 58 yards on his tally.
Now 3rd down and 4 for the Falcons. Offense really needs something just to give the defense a chance to breathe here.
Brown goes in motion, throw goes, and that's going to be incomplete, I think.
That turned into a very good bit of defense by Jesse Brown, because it looked for all the world like Lucas Carlson had a pick and maybe a pick 6 fall right into his hands.
As the captain there, and Carlson, just unable to keep his hands under the ball.
Fitzsimmons was looking there the whole way. Actually, it wasn't Jesse Brown, it was Josh Nelson who knocked Carlson down, deprived him of the interception there. The Falcons kick.
Line drive kick, they'll try fielding it. And immediately wrapped up is Jared Brockway.
And now Castleton is the one who find themselves with momentum, with a defense that is stifling the opposing offense, and with good field position. They're 54 yards away from maybe putting this one away.
The Falcons dominated time of possession in the first half, had about 20 of the 30 minutes, but again, only came up with the 6 points. But as you said, the Falcons haven't been able to give their defense a proper rest in this second half. 94 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Davis Jr. back in the game. Good to see he's all right. Going to take the first carry. Break out of a tackle, and he's still running past midfield down the near side. And taken down by Morikita, but not before getting just past the 35-yard line in Fitchburg territory.
Simon Davis Jr. with his biggest play of the game. Really nothing doing here as he cuts to the right side, manages to break through that flock of Falcons, and there's nothing but field turf in front of him for 15, 20 yards. Finally brought down inside the 35-yard line.
Even looked like Kita even stumbled a little bit before making that tackle. This time, Davis Jr., what did I say about consecutive times running the same play?
Didn't work that time.
Davis wrapped up post-haste in the backfield for a loss of a good few.
Davis is, he's not quite shaken up, but he's definitely ready to be not playing football for a minute or two. He'll head to the sideline. Castleton going without a huddle here. Excuse me, Dan.
We saw him get hurt on that touchdown dive earlier. As here's a throw over the middle, tipped and incomplete, looking for Martinez. But strong enough defense there, breaking that one up.
I think that's the second time on this drive that Morikita has saved a touchdown. Might actually have been Montero on the coverage, excuse me. And it was Joel Montero, number 22 for the Falcons, the junior from Brockton.
He was a transfer in, came from New Haven. McCarthy under a bit of pressure. Throws to the near side. This is caught. And fighting for yardage upfield, Sejan McIntosh.
McIntosh, the intended receiver, was able to bring that in.
McIntosh able to get about 9 on that one, but it's going to be 4th down.
However, with that gain, now all of a sudden it's 4th and 5 at about the 29-yard line. I think they're going to go for this one.
That is the end of the 3rd period.
Brings us to the end of the 3rd quarter here. And Dan, why don't you take this opportunity to thank our football underwriters?
That's right, John. Our football underwriters, IC Credit Union, 300 Bemis Road in Fitchburg, North End Subaru at 757 Chase Road in Lunenburg, Romano's Market, 138 Harvard Street in Fitchburg, Grand Rental Station, 88 Mass Ave in Lunenburg, and the Neshoba Valley Medical Center in Ayer, Mass. We thank our football underwriters for all that they do.
And we also want to thank, of course, our volunteer crew. Our director today is Dave Oster, Travis Falk doing supervising of every technical sort, as well as running graphics and audio for us. Jared Roberts is handling the replay duties. Josh Goggin, Kevin Sim, and the 3 Matts, Matt Picciotto, Matt Gunderson, and Matt Murdoka, all running camera for us today here on this first FATV football telecast of the year.
But plenty more coming down the stretch. Look forward to the next broadcast on the 20th, the Red Raiders' first game of the year, taking on the Tantascwa Warriors, 7 o'clock start.
And that is indeed a 7 o'clock kickoff. I'll have the call alongside Dave Clark and Mike Flynn, I assume. I haven't heard that they've quit or fired me yet, so I figured that's what's going to happen.
The Red Raiders, coming off a pretty big win yesterday, escaped your backyard with a 35-28 win over West Springfield.
Am I supposed to pretend I care about the West Springfield High School football team?
Not really.
Okay, good. So 4th down and 5 here for Castleton, and this is a big play for the Falcon defense. If they get this stop, they get their offense the ball, and the 4th quarter starts with a Castleton timeout.
Castleton.
Guys,
first charge timeout.
You just had like 2 minutes. It's been 4th and 5 for 5 minutes now. All right. What other vamping material do we have, Dan?
Another scoreboard update?
Yes, absolutely. There was that 41-41 game. What happened in that one?
UMass Dartmouth won 48-41.
Hey, how about that?
Yep. Big win for the MASCAC. Take a victory over Husson. Used to be a conference rival of Castleton in the ECFC. They just moved over to the Commonwealth Coast Conference for football this year.
How dare they? What were they thinking?
As we mentioned, Plymouth beat Maine Maritime 48-6. St. John Fisher over Bridgewater 35-28. Brockport over Framingham 14-0. Union crushed Anna Maria 54-7. Those were all the games that went final beforehand, a couple coming afterwards. But we have football to call now, so.
We do indeed have football to call, and it is 4th down and 5, as it has been for the past year or two. Castleton needs to get to the 22 of Fitchburg State. McCarthy looking to his left, under pressure, throws left, pass is caught, wide open in fact. Made the catch and got down. It's a gain of about 9 yards and a first down. Castleton made the play they needed. They keep the ball.
Big conversion for the Spartans. Dylan Ellis standing right where he needed to be.
McCarthy is just staring down Dylan Ellis, waiting for that comeback route to open up. Open up it did. Ellis made the catch. It's a first down for the Spartans. Handoff goes to the left side, bouncing out of tackles. Dives forward across the 15, mark him down at the 14. And is once again Devin Woolner, the ball carrier.
Woolner, the ball carrier.
Castleton not afraid to change up the personnel in the backfield.
Morales and Pita combining for the Fitchburg hit. In about 4 brings up 2nd and 6.
Be 2nd down and 6 for the Spartans. Their running game, at least a little bit, and certainly on some plays, has opened up the play calling here in the 4th quarter. Now this is Simon Davis Jr. running deep outside to the right. There's a flag down. Davis tiptoes along the sideline. He's out of bounds at about the 10-yard line. The penalty marker is back at the 15 on the near sideline. Really, this could go either way.
Holding, offense number 87. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Zachary Licata, first time we've called his name today, and it's not for the reason he would have wanted. Negates what would have been a really good run for Simon Davis Jr. He's number 87 here. We'll try to watch him. Right there, I think, a little bit of a hold, a little bit of a push in the back to spring Davis to turn the corner. Instead, it backs the Spartans up 10 yards from the spot of the foul, so it'll be second down and about 17. McCarthy now all day to throw. A flag is down deep in the backfield. McCarthy keeps it himself, ducks out of bounds.
Holding offense, number 54. 10-yard penalty, second down.
2 plays, 2 holds. This is Tucker Gaudette. He was not happy with the call here. We'll take a look at this one. Gaudette is 54. He's the left tackle right at the top of your screen. See, he's pulling him by the jersey, Tucker. You can't do that. I don't know why you're mad. You really can't do that. It's a pretty obvious hold.
I find it weird how McCarthy just keeps running as if he's going to throw it, even after he's well past the line of scrimmage.
He's pump faking 10 yards downfield, as if that's going to fake anybody out. So it is now second and Lunenburg from the Falcon 35-yard line. McCarthy back to pass. Throws over the middle, passes high and incomplete, right through the hands of Zachary Licata.
McCarthy has looked better in this second half, now 7 for 11 through the air. That's even after that incompletion. Just a little too high out of the hands of Licata.
He had to throw it high. That was really good coverage there. Muki Ashima stuck to his man.
Licata just 5'10".
So now third down and 27. If the Spartans get a decent chunk here, they might go for it on fourth. Instead, McCarthy wants it all. This ball for the end zone is incomplete, just out of the reach of Anthony Martinez. He was well covered by A.J. Cadell Jr. Will be fourth down. I think the Spartans have to punt here, don't they? This is the end of it. You're going to see the pass right outside the reach of Anthony Martinez. That is fantastic work there. I believe that's Kevin Sim running that camera. Good work down there on the sideline. Now Castleton will kick it away. It's a high, dead duck of a punt. Bounces at the 15, and it will die there.
Interesting that Mike Morgan wouldn't try to go for the coffin corner there. We know we've seen Joseph Haskins do that a couple of times successfully for the Falcons today.
Still got it dead at the 13-yard line. I mean, you take that.
Still inside the 20, yes.
Pins the Falcons back fairly deep in their territory, 87 yards, separating them from the lead in this one. They need to go all the way. They trail by 4. Although with 12 minutes 51 to play in the game, it's not the end of the world should they fail. Connor Fitzsimons under center. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. And handoff goes straight up the middle. It's J.C. Santiago, the ball carrier. He's across the 15. Mark him down at about the 17-yard line. Gain of about 4. It will be second down.
Spencer Kozlak was the Spartan able to square up Santiago and pull him down by the leg. Prevent him from breaking through the hole for big yardage. Just holds him to 4 yards.
Second down and 6 now for Fitchburg State. Once again, 2 tight ends, 2 receivers. And Santiago in the backfield with Fitzsimons under center. Santiago running to the left. Gets across the first level. He's across the 20-yard line. Down close to the line to gain. I think they're going to mark him about a yard shy. It'll be a gain of 5. Call it now third down.
If you can get 4 or 5 yards a carry, it's effective enough as it is. Go at the pace that you can.
Nothing terribly fancy there, just a couple good lead blocks. Left tackle, left guard, the left side tight end, all doing their job.
Kozlak and Quinton Asiudu able to team up to make that stop.
Gesundheit. Third down and 1 for the Falcons. Ridenour goes in motion to the right. It's a handoff going to the right. Santiago is hit in the backfield and dropped. He's down at the 20-yard line.
If that was the time to play that long game and put the motion into the left after the motion to the right, that would have been the time to do it. But instead, they continue to follow the trope that we've spotted a couple of quarters ago, and Castleton does not fall for it.
It's a loss of about 2. The Falcons will wind up going 3 and out. They're rushing an extra guy onto the field here for the kick. High snap, Haskins gets it down, kick is away. Bounces at about midfield. Takes a Falcons roll, and he's going to actually try to, you shouldn't have done that. I don't study football for a living, but I can tell you Jared Brockway probably shouldn't have picked that one up. He's lucky to just fall on it. They'll mark him down at about the Castleton 35-yard line.
Those bouncing footballs are always a bit dangerous to try to field, and Brockway thought he could handle it and turn it around, but his momentum carried him backwards, and he greatly underestimated the Falcons' gunners.
Between the kick and the bounce and then the negative return, it winds up being a net gain of about 45 yards. You see there, Brockway almost didn't gain possession of that ball before there were Falcons on top of him.
Stephen Lawton able to wrap him up there for that loss.
First down handoff for Castleton is to Delvin Woolner, running to his right, and he's running backwards, and he is speared down. Malik Crawford with his best Roman Reigns impression. First wrestling reference of the season for you, and it's a loss of about 5 yards, I think.
You can see right on the carry, Dave Morales able to, at first almost grabs the face mask, lets go, grabs the sleeve, and that holds up Woolner just long enough for Crawford to step up and take him down.
That's actually a loss of 9. It is second down and 19 now for the Spartans. McCarthy looking to his left, throwing that way. Pass is high, but it is caught. Brought down along the far sideline. Anthony Martinez with the catch. He's able to hang on but not break free. It's a gain of about 6. Call it now third down and maybe 13.
Third and 13.
See McCarthy on the throw, nice spiral. Martinez gets the air there, but again, Cadell just coming in to wrap him up, and then another Falcon coming in for the finish, I believe in Kiambu Jones.
Third down, 13 for Castleton. Falcon defense drops back. McCarthy now under pressure, rolling to his right, gets rid of it. To the right side, pass is complete. They're going to say he was down. I heard a whistle. The Spartans cannot believe it. Zachary Licata thought for all the world that he was not down. The official disagreed, and we are the only ones with cameras. Let's take a look at it again.
See the rollout here to the right?
So Licata makes the catch. He's spun down. He's not down. His left knee almost touched, but I think he's correct. We're going to back this up here, and we'll take a look at it again. Watch his right knee as he goes down here. God, I wish I had a teleprompter. Right there, his knee is on top of the Falcon, and then his hand is down, but you can keep running after that. His ankle isn't down. His other ankle isn't down. I believe that was an incorrect whistle. Obviously, it's D3. There's no replay review. They're not going to come to us, but Castleton feels aggrieved, and I think they have a case.
But the question is, how can you correct that?
You certainly can't assume that he would have gained more yardage, even though by all rights he would have.
12 men on the field when the snap was imminent on the defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And in all of this fracas, there's a 12th man on the field for the Falcons. That will give Castleton the first down they rightly should have had. Okay.
From their own 46.
I mean, on the one hand, Falcon fans aren't happy. On the other hand, the scales of justice are balanced, I guess. I don't know.
I guess in the spirit of fair play, it worked out.
Sure. First out, Castleton at their own 46-yard line. Davis Jr., the carry, running to his left. Gets back to the line of scrimmage and basically no further than that. So I have a question for you, Dan.
Okay.
How is the snap imminent if there's like 45 guys on the field and everybody's milling around and Castleton's mad about being jobbed out of a first down?
Well, that's an interesting question, but admittingly, both of our focuses were on trying to figure out what was even going on.
This is true. Second down and 10 now for the Spartans. Low snap. McCarthy handles it well. Hands off to Davis, running to his right. Breaks out of one layer of tackles across midfield and no further than that. Mark him down at about the Falcon 49-yard line. Couple of big hits here.
Official timeout.
And there is an injured Falcon as well.
You could actually see the contact there. I believe it's Rich Austin.
It is indeed Rich Austin, number 3. We saw him get run into by his own teammate as he was trying to make the tackle in the backfield. Basically hit him square in the midsection. See there in the backfield of the background of the shot, they do have an ambulance on site here at all times, just in case. Good for Rich Austin that he's able to walk off under his own power. We'll take another look at it again. Austin is number 3, and you see right there, he just runs right into his teammate Muki Ashima. Really nothing either of them could do about that. Just hard collision between two teammates.
Castleton, 3rd and 6 from midfield.
We'll turn our attention back to football here. 3rd down and 6 for the Spartans. Ball at midfield. They need the 44 for a first down. Pass goes pretty much right there. It is high and incomplete. Looks like it was once again intended for Anthony Martinez. And the Fitchburg defense has forced a punt, rather.
Martinez, the leading receiver in terms of yardage, 85 yards on the day, including that big 63-yarder in the 3rd quarter.
Pass just a little too high for him.
A.J. Cadell with the coverage there.
Now these snaps on punts have been an issue for Castleton all day. This one is fine. Kick is away, high spiraling number, taken in, actually dropped at about the 5-yard line. That ball is still loose. It's a scrum right around the 3-yard line. There are a lot more white shirts in there than green shirts, I can tell you that. Beyond that, who the heck knows?
Such an important call this is going to be as they decouple the pile.
Falcons are saying they have it. One by one, they peel the men away. Someone down there has his hands on a football.
It'll be Falcon football, they'll rule.
Coming out of the bottom of the pile with the football is Zach Garrison. Garrison trying to make the catch as he was backing up. He's trying to make that catch at his own 5-yard line. He really shouldn't be doing that to begin with. And then somewhere in there, somehow, he managed to wrap his hands back around the pigskin.
Falcons had a lot of adventures last year in punt returning. And unfortunately, it seems like they haven't been able to solve those issues, if you will, even with new personnel getting punt returns here.
Now backed up inside the 5. I believe this is Santiago, the ball carrier. Gets it back out maybe to the 5-yard line. Give him a gain of a couple. Make it 2nd down and 8.
Santiago, the ball carrier, gain of about 2.
Trying to push forward, but not really much you can do, especially when Spencer Kozlak has your waist wrapped up there. Nowhere to break free.
Santiago still in the backfield here on 2nd down and 8. Falcons go with 3 receivers and the pistol formation. Fitzsimon's quick pass to the right. Floats into the hands of Jesse Brown. He dives across the line to gain across the 15-yard line. Stop the clock, move the chains. It's a first down for Fitchburg State.
Just the 3rd catch of the day for Jesse Brown. The Spartans have had him well covered, and the Falcons definitely needed to throw a pass there while they're pinned so deeply, because that's really been all they've been able to get progress on today. Not too much in terms of the running game. And Brown, the senior, able to pull that one in, get through for a first down.
1st and 10 Falcons on their own 18-yard line. Twin tight ends to the near side. And it's a handoff to the left. Santiago is tripped up in the backfield. Great job there. Jacob Griggs, the sophomore, coming in from his linebacker position and making the tackle.
Short gain on the play.
That's what the Spartans needed there. Griggs able to just jump in there. And Santiago looked like he might have had space for the first time in a while.
It's a gain of about a yard. Falcons taking their time. 5 minutes and change left to play here. As long as they keep moving, the clock isn't really a concern, but they do have to keep moving. Brown goes in motion to the far side. Rollout pass to the far side is complete. Jesse Brown the catch. And he gains about 3 yards on the little bubble screen. It'll be third down and about, well, let's call it 4. First time we've seen the Falcons really move Fitzsimons around in the pocket. Add a little bit of a wrinkle to the offense there. Third down and 4 now, Fitchburg State. Clock ducks below 4:30 to play here as the sun dips below the horizon. Fitzsimons rolls to his left. Wants to throw to his left. There's nobody there. Finally finds a man, but he overthrows him. Incomplete. It was intended for Miguel Perez. Perez had gotten a step of separation, but Fitzsimons on the move to his left. The pass was just a little bit inaccurate. Always tough, Dan. You've got a right-handed quarterback who's rolling to his left, so any throw in that direction is going to be somewhat against his body, and Fitzsimons was unable to complete that one.
Just a challenging pass attempt there from Fitzsimons. Wasn't able to find Perez, 5'7".
Hoskins' punt is away, taken in by Brockway at the 45. He gets it across midfield and doesn't get any more than that. Now some pushing and shoving as the play comes to a close. There is a penalty marker down at midfield.
My hope was there wasn't a little extra frustration there from the Falcons. Trying to play a losing game and trying to pry the ball away where there really wasn't anything to pry away.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense, on the kicking team. Number 27, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Andrew Shore, the guilty party. So that 15-yard infraction will give the Spartans excellent field position. First and 10 at the Falcon 34. A touchdown here would basically certainly ice this one. And really all they need is a couple of first downs and maintaining possession. Simon Davis Jr. the carry on first down. Tries to bounce it out to his left, nothing doing there. Fitchburg State does have all 3 timeouts. They will not take one here. Not quite that desperate yet. Castleton obviously has no reason to hurry. There's 17 seconds on the play clock, and they'll take every last one of them. I think they might even just be content to hand the ball off 3 times and see what they get here. Davis the carry on second down, bounces out of one tackle, but he's going backward. Has to dive to get close to the line of scrimmage, does not do that. Clock continues to run. No, it does not. Falcons will take a timeout.
Timeout, Fitchburg State. First charge, timeout.
So it was Caleb Gonsalves who made the initial hit, and then Bubba Lynch and Kiambu Jones conspired to bring him down in the backfield. It's a loss of about 2. You can see there, top of your screen, 2 timeouts remaining for each team. Castleton about to face third down and 13. They're at the 38-yard line of the Falcons. They need to get it just inside the 25 for a first down.
Third down has been rough for both teams. 2 for 14 for Castleton, 2 for 13 for Fitchburg.
And really, Dan, we haven't seen Castleton with these deep passes downfield, these 15, 20-yard plays. They hit one earlier. But other than that, their biggest play was just a quick pass over the middle that turned into something after the fact. I think that that might be what they're going for here, a 10-yard slant, something like that. Try to get the first down after the completion.
An incompletion will lead to a clock stoppage, but maybe in this circumstance it's worth the risk.
3rd and 13 for the Spartans. Trips receivers to the far side. Play action fake. McCarthy wants to throw. There is a penalty marker down. Pass over the middle is incomplete. And I think we're about to face a decision for the Falcons.
Holding offense number 54. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Tucker Caudette guilty of the hold for the second time. It is declined. Falcons will take the incompletion. Yeah, Tucker, you can't tackle a guy who doesn't have the ball. That's a pretty obvious hold, I would say so, right, Dan?
Yep. Credit to Sam Kenny for breaking out of that, forcing McCarthy to throw that pass, too.
So now, 4th down, coffin corner opportunity for the Spartans. Maybe. Takes forever to finally get rid of the ball. There was no rush. And it bounces inside the 5. There's a flag down. Pushing and shoving. There's a Falcon player without his helmet who's jawing at someone.
It's David Morales.
Morales was not happy. Presumably whatever led to him losing his hat was also whatever caused the flag. And the officials will confer. The kick itself was a very good one. Bounced inside the 5 and was pretty much dead there. While the officials take a look, we're going to... Okay, well, you can't do that, first of all. I think that's against the rules. The whole grab a guy and shove him to the ground thing.
Personal foul, face mask on Castleton's number 30. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
I'm going to go ahead and stand up here for Simon Davis Jr. He did nothing wrong on that play. It was Lucas Morse we saw on the replay, guilty of the face mask. And that 15 yards will basically negate the coffin corner kick. The Falcons will have it at about the 20-yard line. 1st and 10, 2:45 to play. Fitchburg State with 2 timeouts. Come out with 3 receivers and a tight end in the slot. Fitzsimons rolls and throws to his right. Pass is complete to Nelson. He's dragged down inbounds after a gain of 4. 2:35 to play now. Fitzsimons gets the signal from the coaches and brings it back to the line. 2nd down and 7, Fitchburg State. Santiago's in the backfield. Fitzsimons back to pass, looking to his left. Pass is floating high and incomplete. I think it was intended for Nelson. Closest man to it was Ethan Palizzetti, the sophomore DB from South Kingston, Rhode Island.
There might have been a tip on that pass. It definitely seemed like it was a bit rushed.
Take a look at it again. I think Fitzsimons just kind of uncorked that one.
Yep, just rushed a bit overthrown.
Hard to tell if that was another miscommunication where Nelson started running up the field and Fitzsimons expected him to go to the sideline, or if it was just a rushed throw. Either way, it is now 3rd down and 7. Brown in motion to the near side. It's a pitch back to him. They're going to call that a live ball. Play continues. Brown is trying to make something out of it. Loses the ball again. Recovers it again. This play is still live. And it's finally a loss of about a yard.
Jesse Brown.
They tried to set up a wide receiver screen on the near side. We'll take a look at it again. This right here was ruled a backward pass, which I think is the correct call, so the ball is still live. Brown picks it up and runs with it. He's trying to make something out of absolute nothing. Loses the ball again. We are back to live action on the field here, guys. Connor Fitzsimons back to pass. 4th down. This is the game. Pass is high, incomplete. Brown wants a flag. There is a flag. It comes in. He was shoved down pretty much. Castleton's You don't see that too often. A player is calming down his coach.
Tony Volpone is absolutely livid right now.
And Dustin Rock is just standing there. Coach, it's fine. I did it. It's fine. Don't scream. Don't get mad.
Don't want to tack on another 15 after all that.
That's why Dustin Rock is a captain. All right, so this is the 4th down play, and you see running into the man from behind, it's Nick Recca, number 25, for the Spartans. The officials are...
Pass interference, defense. The spot foul, automatic first down.
Okay, so the pass interference gives the Falcons new life. We'll take a look at it again here. Hard to really see anything there. You see the tail end of it as Recca slams into Jesse Brown. 1st and 10 Falcons at the 33, still 67 yards to go. Pass over the middle is complete. Jesse Brown the catch, stop the clock, move the chains. 1st down Fitchburg State.
So after that penalty on what was 4th and 7, the Falcons immediately striking for that first down. Still got a lot of field to cover, but they still have life.
1st and 10 Falcons now at their own 44, 75 seconds and counting to play. Fitzsimons back to pass, pumps left, now throws left. Nelson's there on the sideline, pass is incomplete, was a little overthrown and well covered by Ethan Palazzetti.
And credit to Josh Nelson being a great contributor on this offense today for the Falcons. 7 catches for 63 yards. Would you like to guess how many catches he had in his career coming into today?
7.
None.
Wow, that's good.
For the senior, another example of perseverance. He's been with the team all 4 years.
Saw the 1st down play. This was the other 1st down play. The pass to the far near side, incomplete. Fitzsimons was under pressure there. Now 2nd down and 10. 68 seconds to go, 56 yards. Fitzsimons' pass is tipped and incomplete. Falls down at the line of scrimmage. Didn't see who got a hand on it. I'm going to guess it was Chris Rice. Just a guess. It's usually Chris Rice. We'll take a look.
He has the reputation.
Here's Chris Rice.
Hey, you know what? It was Chris Rice.
It was Chris Rice.
It was Chris Rice.
All ECFC first teamer.
Fitzsimons now 18 out of 32 on the day, 160 yards. 3rd down and 10. Falcons have gone 3 receivers and a tight end this whole drive. Back to passes, Fitzsimons under pressure, under a lot of pressure. He's going to be dragged down deep in the backfield. It's a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up a critical 4th down. Fitchburg State is not taking a timeout for whatever reason. 50 seconds left. They have 2. 4th down and 16 for Fitchburg State. Fitzsimons barking signals, sending his men to the line. They need to get to the 46 of Castleton for a 1st down. Fitzsimons throws over the middle. That pass is caught. It is a 1st down, Fitchburg State.
Miguel Perez pulling it down for the Falcons. And again, life.
That'll
40 yards from goal.
That'll stop the clock just enough to move the chains. 30 seconds to go, 40 yards. Fitzsimons snaps and spikes. 27 seconds. Fitchburg State still with 2 timeouts.
Falcons will trade it down to stop the clock and keep that 2nd timeout. One of the best passes we've seen out of Fitzsimons today. Goes over the middle and finds Perez.
One of the best passes we've seen out of Connor Fitzsimons over his entire Falcon career. In my estimation, that critical 4th down keeps the Falcons alive. 2nd down and 10. They're at the Spartan 40. Fitzsimons rolls to his right, looking, throwing to the right. Pass is complete to Nelson. He stepped out of bounds after a gain of 8.
Fitzsimons pass complete.
The receiver stepped out of bounds. The receiver stepped out of bounds.
Nelson stepped out of bounds and then pretty much immediately lost the ball. Spartans thought they might have had it for a second. We'll take a look at it again here. Nobody open downfield. Fitzsimons find Nelson right there. He is out of bounds. The official correctly blows the whistle. And then a bit fortunate for the Falcons because right after that, Nelson had the ball punched out of his hands. It is now 3rd down and 2. 20 seconds remaining as you can see. Falcons are at the 32-yard line. They need the 30 for a first. Fitzsimons wants more than that over the missile. Perez has it again. He's across the 15 to the 10-yard line. It's a first down and goal. 15 seconds left. They'll stop the clock in order to move the chains. And Fitchburg State will call their second timeout. Whoo, boy, this is turning into a good football game, Dan.
Fitchburg State. That is their second charge timeout.
First and goal at the 10. That play was pretty much a carbon copy of the fourth down conversion before it, wasn't it?
Looked like it was the same to the same receiver. A nice spiral over the middle. Miguel Perez pulls it in yet again, the freshman from Natick.
Perez was well covered. He had Luke Issa on him. He got delivered a big hit by Palizzetti, but he hung on to the football, gained 22 yards. It will be first and goal at the 10. We'll take a look at it again. It's a beautiful ball, right on the money. Makes the catch, gets hit.
Perez has done so well to get open in these situations.
15 seconds left. Fitchburg State can call timeout if they want to. They're in the pistol. Perez, the slot receiver, to the far side right. Santiago in the backfield. Fitzsimons to pass. Rolls to his right. Throws to his right. Pass is caught by Nelson. He's dragged out of bounds at the 3. Stop the clock with 8 seconds to play. Time enough for definitely one, maybe 2 plays.
That's what I'm thinking.
And they do have a timeout.
If they want to run on second down, they can if they want.
Dan, I'm calling an option here. I don't even know if the Falcons have it in their playbook, but I feel like this is the perfect time for it. An option or a pitch or something. We'll see what the Falcons do. Second down and goal from the 4. 8 seconds left. Fitzsimons, quick pass to the right. Pass is caught. Jesse Brown, touchdown Falcons! With 5 seconds to play, Jesse Brown, the senior receiver, makes the touchdown catch and gives the Falcons the lead. Just a quick slant to the best guy on the field, one-on-one, and he makes the catch. The crowd here at Elliott is on their feet. The Falcons have taken the lead 12-10, and they will take timeout to gather their breath.
Fitchburg State, that is their third and final charge timeout.
And now, this is actually a pretty important extra point.
It is.
I don't know how Castleton could get into field goal range with 5 seconds, but if they did, it would be better if a field goal tied the game, right?
Yes. Just thinking how in the first half the Falcons left so many points by the wayside due to indiscipline, bad penalties, and in this case, Castleton made a couple glaring errors. The 15-yard penalty on the punt return, and not only that, they're going to swap out kickers here. They're going to go with Benedict Cesare-Thompson to try to kick the extra point here.
We did see Linnea Chill miss her first attempt in the first half. This time, Cesare-Thompson, who's been handling kickoffs, his kick is also no good. So, 5 seconds to play. The Falcons holding a 12-10 lead.
So now the question is, how do they want to handle this kickoff here?
I would think they have to squib it up the middle, don't they? Like for Castleton, the best way for Castleton to score is a kickoff return. That's the one they're most prepared for. It will be Bubba Lynch kicking off for the Falcons. The Fitchburg State is all lined up and ready to kick, and there are no Spartans on the field. Now, granted, there are also no footballs on the field, so it wasn't like they could go. It's just funny. We saw Bubba Lynch handle a kickoff in the first half. It was short. Castleton's deepest men are back at the 15-yard line.
Bubba Lynch to kick it away for the Falcons.
And it's a squib. Taken in and immediately falling down at the 38-yard line. Just ran 1 second off the clock. So, 4 seconds left. It's time for one play. I rather doubt, just because it's D3 football and maybe I'm making an assumption I shouldn't make, I rather doubt that Jacob McCarthy can throw a ball 70 yards in the air. And because of that, we get to see what their hook and lateral play is.
Falcons going full prevent here.
They have 4 men set back deep at their own 25-yard line.
Castleton first and 10 from their own 39.
The line of scrimmage is the 39. Castleton goes with 4 receivers and a tight end. Empty backfield. McCarthy throws deep over the middle. It is caught and tackled there, and that will be the end of the game. No trickery at all from Castleton. They were unable to get the final second score, and somehow Fitchburg State has escaped with a 12-10 victory.
They scored on the first drive of the game. They score on their last drive of the game. And they're just able to keep Castleton at bay enough to escape with the victory.
Escape is the right word. Fitchburg State dominated the first half of this game, should have had at least twice as many points as they did. Castleton, in ways, was unlucky not to have more than 10 in the second half, which they largely dominated. On a final drive play, one of the best we've seen here at Elliott Field, certainly the signature drive of Connor Fitzsimons' Falcon career. He leads the team back from the jaws of defeat, and Fitchburg State gets the 12-10 victory.
13 plays for 79 yards in 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Connor Fitzsimons able to find Jesse Brown at the end with seconds left to take this victory. The Falcons get their first win of 2019, 12-10. They'll take it any way they can get it.
Folks, did you miss football on FATV? Because I missed football on FATV. Dan, did you miss football?
I missed football.
Okay. And it's D3 football. It's not like the NFL, which is actively evil. It's D3 football. It's fun.
Everyone's playing for the love of the game.
All right. Well, we do have to take care of just a little business before we let you go. First of all, we want to thank one more time our football underwriters. They are IC Credit Union on 300 Bemis Road in Fitchburg, North End Subaru, 757 Chase Road in Lunenburg, Romano's Market. Find them at 138 Harvard Street in Fitchburg, Grand Rental Station, 88 Massachusetts Avenue in Lunenburg, and the Neshoba Valley Medical Center in Ayer, Massachusetts. Of course, Dan, we also want to thank our annual underwriters.
That's correct, John. That'd be Rollstone Bank, Workers Credit Union, Unitil, Health Alliance Hospital, MART, Fitchburg State University, Minuteman Press, the Sentinel and Enterprise, and Hub International.
And we would be remiss if we didn't thank our fantastic crew one more time. Dave Oster, our director, Travis Falk, the technical supervisor, also running graphics for us today. Jared Roberts did a fantastic job on replay, and our great camera operators, mostly a brand new crew, Josh Goggin, Kevin Sim, Matt Pachotto, and Matt Gunderson, along with Matt Murdoka, the 3 Matts, as we'll call them now and forever, doing a fantastic job running camera for us. Dan, you were great as well. The Falcons were, well, they won. The last drive was really fun, so let's say they were great. This was a fantastic day here. First game of the season here at Elliott Field. Any final thoughts before we let these folks go, Dan?
Last year, Fitchburg State played Worcester State, and in the last seconds of the game, they tried to make a similar drive as we saw today. But as soon as they got into the red zone, a couple penalties and a few incompletions, and they ended up about 15 yards short of winning the ball game. This time, it's a different story. They're able to come away with the victory they were so hoping for last year, and they're able to vault into conference play with a 1-1 record.
Our next telecast here on FATV will be Friday, September 20th, this coming Friday, a 7 o'clock kickoff from historic Crocker Field. We'll see you then. But for right now, for the entire FATV crew and Dan Bolek, I'm John Gugerty. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time right here on FATV.